Can you handle it? This is Pastor Sean Hackett, coming to you from Resurrected Apostolic Faith Ministry. And in this lesson, we're going to be depicting the story of Joseph, specifically when he reunites with his brethren. So we're going to break down this message so that we could ask ourselves certain questions that we face on a daily basis. And we're going to phrase it that you could understand if you can handle it. And if you can't, hopefully throughout these lessons, we'll learn how you can handle it and get over those weaknesses. So stay tuned for this message entitled, Can You Handle It? Me against myself. This is Genesis 42, verse 1 through 4. It says in verse 1, Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do you look one upon another? So we're learning about Jacob in a different light because his children are now grown. But yet they're looking at him as, okay, we're hungry, our children are hungry, our wives are hungry, we're hungry. So they come back to their father. They come back to the person who gave them life, right? And many a times we ask ourselves as parents, why are our children coming back in our lives when they're supposed to be starting their life or managing their own life? And, sometimes we have to stop ourselves because then we're not really asking ourselves why, but we're asking God why. And God says in the Word that He will not give us anything more than what we can handle. So we have to quicken ourselves, not to ask ourselves why, but how we could help. And so in 2 it says, And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. So you're looking at this and saying, well, the dad answered correctly, right? Everyone was relieved by your answer as being a parent. And really, when your children are coming to you or anyone comes to you, sometimes you have to overlook how they come to you. Because many a times they come with anger, they come with words of hatred, but sometimes they just come with confusion. And you may be put off by the way that they approach you. But again, you have to quicken yourself to ask yourself, what can I do to help? Do I have the answer to your question? Many a times we look at them and say, well, why couldn't you go to someone else? Well, someone else may be able to give them the same answer you gave, but at what price? So when it's me against myself, I look at what I have to offer them. I don't look at who else you could have gone to. And we're going to learn more about this as we read on. And it says in 4, But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob, sent not with his brethren, for he said, Lest peradventure mischief befall him. So we're starting to reveal some strengths as well as weaknesses within Jacob. But we could also find some weaknesses within ourselves. Have we really let go? Now, Jacob serves God, right? We all know that. But he's faced with something that he loves. And this is why the New Testament had to come, Jesus Christ had to come, because he had to break down our confidences, even the ones that are in our very hearts. And the greatest one that Jacob faced was, how much do you love me? Speaking of God. Do you love me more than you love your children? So are you stronger? Could you have faced this? Could you have overcome this? All right. So he could have gone ahead and allowed Benjamin, his son, to go. But at this moment in time, he's not ready to give up something he loved. But as we read on, you're going to see that as you grow in Christ, although Jacob may be an older person, he's the oldest person actually in this conversation, yet he still has a lot to learn. God's ways may not be your ways, But that doesn't mean you can't learn his ways. It's just a mind frame. Are you ready to learn it? So me against myself is questioning yourself. Instead of asking God or questioning God of the things in which you're going through, instead, Jacob looks at himself, analyzes himself, and says, can I answer this? Can I help those who come to me? And in the end, God comes to him, gives him a little glimpse of what's about to happen. And he shows him the next step is, can you forgive?